Today we're going to take a look at the Dioram-X Wall System Pack. This is all of the wall panel pieces and related parts for the Dioram-X modular building system. So we're going to go through each of the different pieces that come in the STL pack, and we're going to show what each of the parts does and if there's anything special that you need to know about them when you get the kit. Obviously you have the STLs, so you're going to print as many of these pieces as you need for your diorama. We're going to go through each individual piece. Starting off, we'll go through the standard wall panel pieces first. They come in 3 sizes. We call them 2U, 4U, and then 8U pieces. And as you can see, they're exactly, the 8U, 4U is exactly half of that, and a 2U is exactly half of a 4U. So as you would expect. They all interconnect together in the same fashion. They all have tabs on one side and receiving connectors on the other. So you will just simply line them up and then just connect them together. With any type of 3D printed parts, your mileage may vary based on your printer. They might be a little snugger, they might be a little looser, but they should still hold together just fine once they're in place. If they are a little loose and they do tend to come apart, you'll just have to straighten them out a little bit as you work with them. And then the same thing here, if you want to use all the panels together, you can just do that as well. So we'll just go ahead and connect these together. And as you can see, now you have all 3 of these panels now becoming one panel. All right, so there's really nothing special with these. These are just single sizes. They have the vertical connectors on the bottoms and the tops, so you can stack them. So if you do want to take multiple pieces, you can see that the connectors do line up and you can stack them. To use those, you'll need these connector pieces. These are called wall connectors, and you'll be using these wall connector pieces to do that. So you can just go ahead and pop one in and then just go ahead and connect it to the next one. You don't need one in every spot if you don't want. You can add them in additional spots for additional stability and strength. And then once you get them connected, as you can see, you now have a vertical wall that is just straight up. And you can have a seamless looking wall if you like. If you don't want a seamless looking wall and you want more of a floor level transition, that's what we have over here. And these are called wall transition pieces. So I'll give you an example of one of these. They come in the same 3 sizes, 8U, 4U, and 2U wall panel or wall transition pieces. And these are directly for the walls. Now, you can technically use them across multiple, so if you have an 8 and you want to put it across 2 4s, that's fine. But we do want to make sure they're in each size, so that way you can have ones that fit for every size wall panel that you would come in contact with. So then what we're going to do is just go ahead and remove these. And it's the same exact pattern. You just take your wall connectors and your transition piece, and you go ahead and put that in there. So just like that. Flip it on over, and now you have this wall transition base. This is for you to be able to put on different kinds of style wall transition faces for different looks. And right now, as we're just starting off, we only have the one style, but we'll be adding more styles soon. And here's a wall transition face piece. And as you can see, it's slotted. The slot is closer to the bottom and it's farther away from the top. That's how you know how to orient it. So then you just basically slide it right on. And now you have a transitional piece in between your walls. Then you can go ahead and take I'll flip this around so you can see. So you can then just take these and then add them right in as you would connect any other vertical wall piece, like that. And now you have a nice floor transition. This also works great for a roof line transition top as well. So that's how the wall transition pieces work. They come in different styles. We have again the 4U, 8U, and 2U sizes. We also have an outer corner, which comes in actually 2 pieces, a left and a right, just mainly for easier printing. And then there is a groove here that you'll want to actually groove together, and then just slots right here, and they connect. They form a corner transition piece. This will go with a corner piece, and I'll show that here in just a moment. In addition to the regular wall panel pieces, we have a window panel and a door panel. They come with fillers, the filler pieces in the wall kit. So you can then make them into additional walls. So if you know you're gonna want a window later on down the road, you can print one of these and just use it as a wall piece for now. Or you can just go ahead and print it with the opening and then add the window accessory out of the windows and doors kit that we sell. And so that just has an opening there for your window. And if you do purchase one of those, it'll come like something like this, which is just a window frame, and then that just pops right into place, just like that. All right, this window piece is not included in the wall panel pack. All right, so then but the filler is. So you can print the filler if you want to turn it into a wall piece. And we just wanted to do that just to help maximize the usage of these panels so they weren't only used for windows, that you could use them for both. And the door panel is the same type of way. It has a door cutout. You can see it a little bit easier on the back side where the line of the door is. And it has a few of the wall connectors holding it in place so it stays nice and snug. But again, you can use it as a standard 8U wall panel, or you can take and pop these out. So sometimes these get a little tight, so you just want to kind of push from the back side, or I guess would be for the front side in, and then help just dislodge them. Once you get a couple going, they usually come out pretty good. As you can see, I just threw a bunch of the wall connector pieces at me. Sometimes when you print these, they fit in pretty snug. Sometimes they're a little bit on the looser side, but once they pull together with another piece, they're usually always nice and tight. All right, so we'll just go ahead and take these off for now and leave them off to the side. But then here's your filler, and now here's your doorway piece. So that way you have that. We do have door kits in a couple of different styles currently, and we're looking into making more styles and colors as we go. Obviously, the colors is whatever you want to print them in, but we do print some of these physically for those who don't have 3D printers. If you are interested in having us print some of these pieces for you, just take a look at our site, grafxstore.com, or our Etsy store for Graf-X Industries, and you'll be able to see these kits out there for purchase for physical. All right, moving on. So let's talk about corners. These are what's left here is the corner pieces. So we have an outer corner, and this is kind of a dual purpose usage. So we have them in two separate pieces for printability. So that way everything always prints flat. So if you want to do a two-tone look like this brick, you print it in one plastic on the base, and then you can print another plastic on just the top layer and get that nice two-tone look. In this particular case, we use a PLA Plus from eSun. We found that to be a very sturdy plastic that typically makes the connectors work really well over and over again. And we just think that it works a little bit better for the durability. It does also seems to not wear out quite as fast as regular PLA, but that's just what we've noticed. But when it comes to the top layer, it really doesn't matter. I would go for whatever you think looks good. In this case, we actually have I don't know if you can be able to see it. See if I can get it to focus in. But there is like a texture to this. It's like a red brick that Elegoo makes, and that's what we use here to do the red brick. So if you have the red brick here, and the same thing is true with these gray pieces, they have a marble gray. I don't know if you can see all the detail in there, little black speckles, but it actually gives a really nice concrete look. All right. So in addition to this corner piece, connecting there, I'll get this part here, you can see that they have the same type of connectors as the corner transition piece where they just slot into each other to make the corner. But if you don't want to use it for that, another benefit you can use if you're just making a straight wall, I'm just going to grab this one panel here. So if you're doing a straight wall, you can actually use these in a way to make a straight edge. So if you put one on this side, it's not as easy to do when you're not on when you're sitting in front of a camera. Okay, so here we go. We have, as you can see, this one's a little crunchier, a little tighter fitting, but that's okay. And it's good if you put it on a table and you can just go ahead and push down nice. But as you can see, it'll make nice straight edges if you want more of a flat edged look on your diorama when you're making just a single wall. So that's how you can do that. You can also just use two of these and then have them just curve backwards if you want to do it that way as well. So I'm just gonna take this one off here real quick, and we'll just go ahead and connect it in over here. All right, nice little satisfying click, and there you have your, let me see if I get that in there all the way. Okay, and you have yourself a nice corner piece to go with your diorama, and you can go ahead and just continue building off from the other direction. So that is the outside corner, but what happens if you need an inside corner? Well, we have that covered too. And that's what this piece is. It is the inside corner component. And as you can see here, it is printed, again, flat, but in one piece, and it has a foldable action where you can just fold it and get yourself your inside corner. If you want it permanently folded and you don't want it to move around, you could just drop a couple drops of super glue in there, and then it'll take care of that and keep it permanently locked. And then it works the same way. You just go ahead and connect it up, and there you have your inside corner. So then if you added, like, say, this window, go ahead and connect all these together, and you can see it turns into already a really nice diorama. And again, you just got to line it up sometimes just to make sure that the pieces are all flush. As you're using it and moving it around, it sometimes needs to be just adjusted a little bit. But as you can see, it looks pretty good. There you go. There you have that. So that's how the wall pieces work. Now let's talk about the transition pieces on the tops here, because that's actually kind of a key component. Let me just go ahead and grab this. Just gonna pop these off here. And there we go. All right, so just popping on the back. Let's go ahead and just add this one right to the 8U that's here. Take our connectors, and there's a transition piece there. When it comes to the outside corner transition, that's where we use these here, and there is basically a connector for one side. So you'll see one side doesn't fit, and if you flip it around, it should match up with the corner piece perfectly, and then it has a spot for a connector there as well. So we're going to go ahead and add that connector in. Now we do add side connectors if you want to add some stability in between the transition pieces as well. It just helps make everything even more locked into place. So printing a big plate of these is probably a good idea. That way you just have plenty. And then as far as the outside corners go, there are a couple of pieces here. So we have one that's longer, one that's shorter, but they form that outside corner point. And so the longer one goes on this side, and the smaller one goes on this side. And there you have your outside corner transition. All right, let's talk about the inside corner transition. How does that work? Well, in order to use the inside corner one, we actually use 2 of the 2U's. So there is no inside corner transition piece. We actually just use 2U ones. So let me go ahead and grab a second one here. And so we have two 2Us. And why create another part if you don't need it, right? So we have that here. I'll go ahead and add this one in here. And then while we're at it, let's go ahead and take this 4U and put it on this 4U panel. There we go. And so there we have those pieces here. So we have a longer one and a shorter one. So the shorter one goes on this side. So we'll just go ahead and run that guy on there. If we already had it on the corner, we just would have added it before this one. So it's not a problem that way. So this one, we'll just go ahead and slide it in from the back here and just slide it all the way down until you get to the inside corner. And it should line up perfectly right on its edge. So there you have your inside corner. And then we'll take this 4U one and we'll go ahead and put it out here. So there you have your transitions, your wall transitions with a facing all the way around. And obviously just add in all the different tabs and it will make it even more secured for you as you go. So there is your wall system and everything that comes with it. You'll have the 2U one for the smaller 2U panel. So if you do need to use that for your diorama, you'll have a matching one as well. And again, it's just the same 2U ones that are used for the inner corner pieces. So that is all the components that come with the kit. And you, again, print as many as you want to make as whatever size diorama that you're looking for. And you're going to be good to go. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found some value out of it. And come back and check out the sidewalk and wall support kit. It really helps stabilize the base of this using these kind of wall support pieces underneath here, and then lets you connect into a sidewalk system. And that is our next kit that we'll be talking about. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.